Stay available.
That's a warning.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
morning. I'd like to call the Tuesday, September 13th, St. Joseph County Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Please rise for this pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First order, opening and reading of bids, letters of interest. I don't believe we have any. Next, the Commissioner's accounts payable docket. Questions on that? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved?
Second. Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Aye. Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we have Portage Manor, approval of contract with Rosewood Staffing.
Yeah,
Good morning.
hi, good morning. Rosewood is a clinical staffing agency, and we are requesting $65,000 to be allocated into our contractual services for sole use of agency nursing staff. And this, I'm hoping not to use any of it. I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping not to use any. But like when we have COVID, we essentially have to double staff because the staff that work the COVID unit cannot work with residents who do not have COVID. So that's the purpose for this contract. The second part of what we are asking for is, we're actually asking to increase by 2 full-time clinical staff members to try and balance that out. So I'm hoping not to use any of this and instead actually hire 2 new clinical team members. Hiring clinical team members right now is really difficult, so we have to have a backup plan in place because we pass meds about every 4 hours and we don't want to run into a situation where we don't have somebody that can do that. So.
Any questions?
I just want to make a comment, but I think that's good that you can have people come in and help when you can't be there. So you've got to make sure that you have the help of people there. So good.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good.
We're just trying to make a plan going into COVID and flu season. If the staff gets sick, residents get it. So.
Yeah. Any questions, comments? I'll just say I think it's good that we're being proactive and prepared.
I want to be proactive instead of reactive, yes.
Right.
There's no other questions or comments. Do we have a motion?
A motion to approve the contract with Rosewood Staffing Incorporated.
Second. Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, sticking with Portage Manor, we have a request for an emergency declaration, roof over the food storage area.
So I'll take this one. Our roof over the food storage area has failed. It was the area where the roof has failed is where our loading dock is. And underneath it, there's dry food storage. It was the subject of a tag at one point from the state, which I believe has been cleared.
We cleared it with the promise that we were going to fix this roof. And I know Commissioner Dieter was out there recently and he has seen firsthand the debris and the state of the roof.
So down that vein, we reached out to multiple contractors. Midland, Slate Tile, and Dudek have not gotten back to Brian. I don't think they're interested because it's a relatively small amount. Wolf Contracting did give us a quote. I believe it was around $30,000. It's basically a Band-Aid repair. This isn't some 30-year roof. So the plan would be to get the roof fixed. So the leaks stop. And then also, I believe Wolf wants to put in a visqueen layer. It's essentially cages in there. So the efflorescence, is that my word? Stops raining down from the concrete ceiling onto the food, and it would be caught by the visqueen layer. So because we have no other bids and because this is an emergency at this point because of the promises to the state to resolve it, we're asking that the commissioners approve an emergency declarations. We can work with Wolf to get a final quote.
Any questions, comments?
Commissioner think is
I haven't seen the final quote yet. Do you have a minimum you would like me to recommend?
five stop water. Welcome back.
We'll get minimum of 5.
And that'll be below the roof to catch the,
Correct. So if you've been in that area, there's essentially cages that help people a long time ago.
Former jail cells.
Jail
Oh, yeah.
cells, there we go. And between the cell roof and the actual roof, there's probably, I don't know, 20 feet. It's a very
Yeah,
tall
it's like
ceiling.
10, 15 feet probably in between.
And so we would Wolf would layer over top of the cells to catch the falling debris.
if there are no other questions, comments, entertain a motion.
There is a motion to approve this emergency declaration that's going on.
Second.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye,
Motion carries.
thank you. Next, we have infrastructure planning and growth. First, we have the consent agenda. There's only one item. That's the homecoming parade request. Any questions or comments about that? If not, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda for the Penn High School homecoming parade.
Approve.
Second.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, approval of demolition of house number 51, second change order.
Yeah, Bill Shalio, Economic Development, Department of IPG, offices on the 7th and 11th floor. In February 2022, the Board of Commissioners awarded a contract to Jackson Demolition Services Enterprise to demolish house number 51 on the grounds of the former H2 Hummer campus. The house is owned by the Redevelopment Commission as part of the land that we own as part of our ownership on that site. The original contract amount was $24,500. The Board of Commissioners approved a change order number 1 on June 15th in the amount of $1,290. That was for additional testing of asbestos materials that were found as we move forward with the project. As they were doing demolition, they found additional materials that were part of the same area. So there is an additional charge of $4,725. That makes that change order number 2. The building has been since demolished, but we'd ask for your approval of change order number 2, please.
Any questions on the board?
Bill, is Jackson, is this the first work they've done for us?
I don't know. It's first work I've done with them since I've been with the county. I think I'd worked with Jackson when it's with the
So
city.
they had recently asked or required, because they're a minority contractor, and they haven't been getting any bids, so I hooked them up with Sky to get hooked up with the proper paperwork and permits and stuff, so.
Well, I know that we had some code enforcement houses at some point we need to
Right.
demolish, but we'll make sure they're on the list. We are moving forward with maybe buying a property on Douglas Road, so we can certainly, they're always on the list when we send them notices out.
Yeah, they did the old Hoosier Brewery, Mr. Mish on Lincoln Way.
They did good work on that too. That's why this house took so long to come down, because that took priority.
They covered up the tunnel, by the way.
Oh,
So they had to update things a lot
yes.
better there and make things, that's good. Yeah, make sure everything is right.
Any questions or comments? If not, do we have a motion to approve change order number 2 for demolition of house number 51?
There is a motion to approve change order number 2.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye. There is no old business on the agenda today. So we will move to public comments. Would anybody like to make a comment that's in the room? Short meeting today. Anybody on the call virtually who wishes to make a comment? Hearing no comments, do we have a motion to recess?
So moved.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Hi,
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
thank you all very much. It's good seeing you.